What's going on, guys? Tobin here with you. Thanks for checking us on out as I join you from a place that looks like it is a maple syrup factory. Thanks for checking us on out. If you guys could subscribe, that would mean a lot to me. Otherwise, I appreciate you guys stopping by. So Tyreek Hill, this has been the other storyline that is hanging over Miami Dolphins minicamp, as most of the storylines are, of course, surrounding Uno, number one, Tua Tagovailoa, but his number one receiver and number one star of the Miami Dolphins, offensive player of the year, Tyreek Hill. It has been noticeable that Tyreek Hill did not have his contract restructured this year. Then reports were coming out that Tyreek Hill was looking for a new deal, was looking for new money. And it's been interesting seeing some of the reaction to it from Dolphins Twitter, because I feel like a lot of people feel like they want to just get this Tyreek Hill year under their belt, and then they're like, hey, he's getting on the other side of 30. Let's dust, boop, give the old peace sign to the cheetah, and move on out. And I think this is crazy behavior from fans. So if you're not caught up with it, Tyreek Hill, the reports are, and I imagine most of you are, but for the people who are enjoying their summers, Tyreek Hill and his representation, he's represented by Drew Rosenhaus, Miami-based agent, super agent, great hair, represents a lot of Dolphins, has represented a lot of Dolphins, superb relationship with Chris Greer. In some ways, some would say like almost a shadow GM for the Miami Dolphins with how some guys are navigated to the Miami Dolphins, maybe Tyreek Hill included, as a guy who wanted to be in a certain place. But it was noticeable that Tyreek Hill was liking some things on Twitter because it coincided with the Jalen Waddle deal, and everybody looking like, well, Jalen Waddle is the receiver of the future, and that is like the exit strategy for Tyreek Hill. And to a degree, I agree with that, but not like in the next couple of years. I don't look at this and say like, well, yeah, by the time Tyreek Hill is, 35, then the Dolphins can move on and finally hand the reins over to Jalen Waddle. I think Jalen Waddle is very talented, don't get me wrong. And you want to find value in things, but Jalen Waddle is getting paid a heap of money, so it's not like you're getting some bargain deal here. And people will look at the Miami Dolphins and they'll say, well, you can't invest such and such money into one position. You can't do it. But with the Miami Dolphins and the way that their offense is structured, it's pretty damn obvious what the structure of their offense is and who the stars of the offense are. It's Tyreek Hill and it's Jalen Waddle. And I don't really see anybody coming for the crown anytime soon. And maybe you could sit here and say, hey, Devon Achane in a couple of years. Okay. Running backs don't get a lot of money. Jalen Wright, same thing. It's the only position that seems to be going down in value. So great that you get production out of them, but nobody's investing in running backs anymore. Raheem Mostert maybe will start wearing down by the time he's 34. But I don't know, man. I have just found odd the Dolphin fans, and I know it's not all of them. I'm speaking to mostly ingrates, but people who are like, "Oh, you can't trust that." The guy shows zero sign that he's slowing down. Like if I could relate it over to, an issue that's going on right now with the basketball team in town with Jimmy Butler, right? A lot of people have been doing Jimmy Butler comparisons. I think those are kind of dumb because this is Tua's first big money deal. Jimmy Butler's been paid. But if you wanted to go on the realm of, Tyreek Hill's been paid, Tyreek Hill, bit of a squirrely character at times, maybe you have some off-field stuff that you got to deal with, but you deal with it for the talent and what he brings you, which is maybe the best football player in the world. And maybe he's getting to an age where you don't trust it as much, right? My thing is this. The comparison to Jimmy and Tyreek. Jimmy has shown some wear and tear, some signs of decline. Tyreek Hill has not. last year he very obviously got in a physical sport, got hurt, nasty tackle, but the guy still was. It was still one of the greatest receiving seasons we've ever seen. Was possibly we talked about going for 2,000 and nearly damn did it. Was on pace for it all of last year, and I don't know. So Tyreek Hill took notice of these tweets that were. I won't put the person on blast on Twitter because they know who they tweeted, but it was. He liked these tweets. He says. I doubt the return would have been as great on another team taking a bad contract. Only the Dolphins would trade 5 picks and pay $30 million for a wide receiver. Also, the Dolphins have a ton of dead cap if they made the deal. I agree that he only came to Miami for the money. He knew that he was leaving behind KC since he left there. The Chiefs are 2-2 and win the Super Bowl. I remember when fans said Mahomes would suffer without Tyreek. Then he liked another tweet that says, Tyreek is a ticking time bomb. Deep down, his ego is going to come out because KC has won 2 Super Bowls while he has 0 playoff wins here. And yeah, Tyreek Hill has talked a lot of bleep since leaving Kansas City. If you're a Kansas City fan and you're talking smack about Tyreek, and I don't know if these people are Dolphin fans or KC fans, I think they're Dolphin fans, but let's just say whatever. Just say NFL fans. Tyreek Hill, if you're a Chiefs fan and you want to mock him, like I do my MMA show with a Kansas City Chiefs media member / fan. My boy, shout out to Sean Levine. And if you're mocking Tyreek Hill because he's left the Chiefs and they're 2-2 winning Super Bowls, hell yeah, I would be talking all that bleep. That's what you should do as a sports fan. But you can't sit here all season, even as Chiefs fans, and watch, because we all watch the Chiefs, and watch how the Chiefs have played and not noticed how different it is since Tyreek Hill has left. You're sitting here begging anybody with a set of hands to please catch the football from Patrick Mahomes. His greatness is unparalleled to anybody in the league. Their defense was absolutely phenomenal last year. So, look, they are a great organization, and they are where they are. The Dolphins could only dream to be anywhere near where the Chiefs have been. But you're not going to sit here and say, if you have eyeballs, you could do the rings count. Fine. But you're not going to sit here and say that the Chiefs, the way they've been moving the football, and in the regular season, the way the Dolphins move the football with Tyreek Hill and how Tyreek Hill has played football, it hasn't been noticeable how the things have gone. I don't know what to tell you. Hey, at the end, you get your wins. But Tyreek Hill has kept up his end of the bargain and then some for the Miami Dolphins. And he's been every bit the reason they have the record that they have, even though it hasn't been good enough and they haven't set themselves up good enough. He's been every bit the reason that they are where they are. And that's just the facts. And so any Dolphin fan that has an issue with Tyreek Hill getting a bump in pay, the dude deserves it. The dude deserves a bump in pay. This is football. I am never going to give a guy any kind of hell for trying to hold an organization to the feet to the fire. These deals are ridiculous. They are made up numbers. This salary cap gets faker by the year. And the Dolphins need him. If the Dolphins are going to do any serious winning this year, of course you want a happy Tyreek Hill and you want a happy Tua Tagovailoa. And I'm not always just, hey, pay the guys and shut up. Although I mostly like paying my stars and taking care of that. Last year with Connor Williams, I was like, Connor Williams holding out is ridiculous. Connor Williams holding out is silly. The Dolphins made him a center out of thin air. He's going to make us stink about being the best. And they made him out of nothing. And look, maybe he was more valuable than I thought at the time. But I was like, come on, you're Connor Williams. Let's pipe down a little bit with I'm going to hold out on the Miami Dolphins. But Tyreek Hill, should there be any doubt? And I really don't think there is any doubt because of the agent, because they know how important he is, because they're also in a kerfuffle and a very, what seems like is turning kind of nasty public negotiation with Tua. You want to be the team in the Dolphins that not only has a nasty negotiation with Tua, but also Tyreek Hill? Because, look, the Dolphins got to look at it like this. If you don't think that these guys are going to be valuable to winning and you don't think that they're going to be worth anything, then you might as well just take a grenade to it and blow it up. Because if Tyreek Hill and Tua Tagovailoa don't deserve the money over what the Dolphins in the Mike McDaniel era and what the Mike McDaniel era stands for, if they don't deserve the money, then who does? Because you've given Mostert the bump. Cool. I get you. It's marginal compared to whatever Tyreek's going to ask for. You've given Jalen Waddle his rookie deal. Great for Jalen Waddle. I'm happy for him. But the other two faces of this have been Tua and have been Tyreek Hill. What the hell is the holdup? And why the hell are the Dolphin fans sitting here worried about Tyreek Hill getting an extra little something on the top to be in line with the best receivers in the league like he should be? I find it weird. I feel like it's always just like everybody plays pseudo GM and they just want to feel like they're getting over some value, or, hey, pay, get that deal that you signed. It's like, yeah, but the deal that he signed is non-guaranteed money. It's like, what, $45 million a year? That ain't real. So, of course you want to be taken care of in a real way. And deserves it. He deserves it. And he had said that he's he's hopeful that he could be a Dolphin for life. After, by the way, he had the big thing that he had said in a very unselfish way was backing Tua. After fat shaming him, of course. I don't remember what came first, fat shaming him or paying him, but either way, it's fun. That's the other thing too, is like, as a Dolphin fan, Tyreek Hill has brought such relevance. Haven't had a guy this good on offense since Ricky Williams. Makes them matter. And okay, you can sit here and you can say, oh, mattering is winning playoff games. Cute. You think that's a cute comment, but be real about it, dude. We watched a lot of Tannehill, Jarvis Landry, Anthony Fasano, Wildcat. It was, it had its Sundays, but most of the time you were napping by the third quarter. Tyreek Hill has changed the game, bar none, for Miami Dolphins football. This is a stupid debate for anybody holding up. The only thing you could even come close to holding, like, if you're worried about anything, is like off-field stuff that he's going to get into another marina fight or something like that. Okay, but all that being said, guy shows up on Sunday, has been an absolute stud, and has more than earned his upcoming bump. So, I don't know, man. These seem like unchallenging things I think the Dolphins got to take care of, because these are the faces of their franchise. For better or worse, the Chris Greer, Mike McDaniel era is going to float and work with Tyreek Hill and Tua Tagovailoa, for better or worse, right? What was it Jeff Darlington said today on NFL Live? He had said that the Dolphins have made their choice. Tua's their guy. All right, well, if he's your guy, invest in your guy. And you know who his number one guy is? Tyreek Hill. You think that in a few years that Jalen Waddle is going to earn it to be taking the reins over as being that guy? Hey, by all means. But right now, he's not. The number one guy and the number one star on this team is Tyreek Hill. Don't make this a thing. This isn't a question.